All right. Welcome, everybody, to season 4, episode 2 of the Movement Podcast. We are officially live and ready to get the show on the road today. Looking forward to an important episode and an episode that definitely hits home with all of our communities. First of all, let me go ahead and give a shout out to the people who are in the building today. We got the nephew Ramzi Ali in the back on the ones and twos. We appreciate him for being here today. Got little big bro Yusuf Thabit right here to the right of me. Of course, you got myself, Omar T. And to the left of me, we have Ahmed Said, who is, go ahead and give him a round of applause. He is the brother of fallen officer Mohamed Said, Allah yarhamah. May Allah grant him the highest level of Jannah. May Allah ease the family's hardships and pains that they may be going through right now. We're going to basically discuss, what is it like coping with grief. And that's why we have Brother Ahmed here. He's going to talk to us. And inshallah, we're looking forward to another great episode of, having someone here that's, it's not easy. Kudos to this guy right here, Ahmed, for even coming on here. It's been a little bit over a month now since his brother passed away. And so it's not easy to come on this show and have this discussion. So we really appreciate you for being here today. And this can really help people who may be dealing with something similar to this. And it can kind of, even if it's you sharing your story, honestly, it helps people realize and understand the relationships that you should have with your family members while they're still here with you. Before we continue on, be sure to follow us on all of our socials. You have YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok all under Oz Media. You'll be able to listen to this show later on Apple and Spotify podcasts under Oz Media. And the new thing that we've added is a website. So now we have a website. It's ozmedia313.com. Again, it's ozmedia313.com. You can check us out there. All of our information, all of our videos, all of our recordings are right there on the website. So it's a one-stop shop. ozmedia313.com. Shout out to the sponsors of this show. The sponsors are Juice Box, Holy Bowly, Hanley International Academy, Jabal Coffee House, Malek Al-Kabob, and BMI Towing. We're going to start off with the best of the best towing in town, which is BMI Towing. Shout out to Mohamed and everybody over there at BMI. And then we're going to officially get the show on the road. So shout out to BMI Towing. You or someone just got into a car accident? Call BMI. Your car is stuck in the snow? Call BMI. Your car just ran out of gas in the middle of the highway? Then call BMI. BMI Towing is the best towing and road service company around. They have workers on the clock 24/7, 365 days in the year. Their location is in Oak Park, Michigan, and their number is 313-460-3222. If you are looking for the best of the best road service around, then call BMI Towing. All right, we're officially back. So let's start off with Brother Ahmed here. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself? What is it that you do, for a living, and anything you'd like to share for the audience out there? Maybe they get to know you a little better.
I'm Ahmed Said, 22 years old, turning 23 next month. I work in restaurants. I manage restaurants, but my plan was to be a police officer. So that was my dream since I came from Yemen, like how it was for my brother. And I was planning by next year to be a police officer or the year after, but
Didn't work out.
it didn't work out.
And Mohammed, is he your older brother?
Yeah, he was my older brother.
And how old was the difference? What was the difference?
He was 26, I'm 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Yusuf, I want to check in with you just to say hello. And I know this is our first show, your first show of this season, because the first show you were on it. But you want to say anything to the audience, anything like that?
No, I'm just excited to be back, for sure, for season 4. Just want to start off with a quick question. So, was he your only brother, or you had multiple siblings?
No, we have multiple siblings.
Multiple siblings. And then, how did I mean, I don't know if this is too early into
We,
the
yeah,
question.
we could wait it off,
yeah,
and then
we
you
could
could
wait
throw
off.
it out there.
I'll go in there.
Because I think where you're trying to get at is maybe relationships and stuff like that. So, like, what was your relationship like with your brother Mohamed Said? Allah yarhamah?
The relationship between me and him wasn't like more than brothers. It was like he was like a father to me. We never had any jealousy between us. You will see like brothers fight over stuff. No, it's not like that between me and him. He was there for me every time I needed him, and I was trying to make him proud. And he was like my motivator, my supporter, and everything. And I was wishing him the best. Same thing.
And so, going off of that, I know you guys have a younger brother too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and is that the three brothers in the family?
Yeah.
Or, okay. So, from that, obviously, for those that don't know, brother Mohamed Said, Allah yarhamah, was killed on duty, and it was very shocking. And the thing about us is, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I knew the guy, but it was just very coincidental that the day of Allah yarhamah, when he passed away, his partner, probably his best partner, best friend, however you want to call it, was on our show. And, he was commenting on the show. We had nice clips of where Officer Mohammed Hisham was saying great things about your brother. And, obviously we posted those clips on our social media pages. But it was very shocking when I woke up the next morning and it was a random person that messaged us and said, like, that's crazy that you guys had his partner on the show and he died yesterday. And it was a weird random account. So I'm like, it's probably a troll. And I'm like, what are you even talking about, with like 3 question marks? Like what are you, it's random to say. And there's like, did you see the news? Go check the Dearborn page. And I checked the Dearborn page, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it because it was like he was here. He was literally like, how someone's watching the whole show, because he was commenting like at different parts of the show. And so he was pretty much watching the whole thing. And, to hear that news, that was like our only interaction with him. And what's crazy, right after the show, in my messages, I thanked him for commenting. And I was like, you're next. We're going to get you on. And he said, inshallah, it would be an honor. That's exactly what he said. But that was our initial reaction. When you heard the news, what was your initial reaction?
So I work afternoons. I work like at 1 o'clock. So I get up like around like 11:50, 12 o'clock. That day I was getting a lot of calls from my cousin teacher. And then when you get up, you don't want to answer nobody. So I was like, I'll get to them later. And all I see is a message from my friend. Hey, is your brother okay? Is everybody okay? I was like, what's going on? He was like, I heard my dad talking on the phone that your brother got shot. So it was like my soul was ripped from my body. I was panicking. I drove to the scene. I was looking for him left and right. I seen his partners, Mo, Hashim, and Ayub. And they couldn't tell me. They couldn't take the word out that he's gone. So I went to the chief and the mayor. I was like, where's my brother? Where's my brother? They were like, he's in the hospital. I started flying there, praying that he's okay. He's alive. I got there. The doctors are trying to make me calm and trying to talk to me. I opened my phone because he always used to tell me if something happened, go to the Dearborn page, which is a bad thing, like about posting these kind of stuff, because we never know he was dead until we seen it on the Dearborn page. So I opened it and I seen Melvindale police officer got shot and killed. It was like my life was dead after that. It was like dark. And then the doctors took me to the room where he was. It was tough seeing him. It felt like it's a nightmare.
And so, I mean, I guess there's a few things that could come out of this. First of all, you know, it is hard to report on those kind of things. You know, from the family's perspective, do you like it, or do you think that it's okay for news media outlets to kind of report these things as soon as they happen, or do you think that they should just wait like 24 hours or something like that, or get the permission from the family? Like, what's your viewpoint on that?
After what happened to me, before I used to be happy to see all over the social media if something happens. But after it happened to me and I felt the pain, I feel like they should wait a few hours until the family knows what's going on there.
And this is not towards the Dearborn News. This is every news station does this. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, every news station reports immediately. You know, it's not about nowadays with the news. It's not about. It's all about you know, quantity over quality. People want to be the first one.
Yeah.
But you know, TCD does do a great job with doing the work that they do, and kudos to them. You know, we had Brother Musa on the show, and you know, he's a great guy, and I think they're doing amazing work over there. I mean, everybody now gets their news from them, so they're doing a great job. It's just more of a general thing. Like, I feel like, you know, because I have a bachelor's in journalism, and they discussed ethics, you know, and I feel like a lot of times nowadays, and this was back 10 years ago when I graduated college, so, you know, from 10 years ago till now, like I said, it's all about who's first.
Yeah.
Now, before it used to be get it right, the information. Now it's all about who's first. But it's just an interesting thing because I always wonder, you know, like, it's that fine balance of, okay, you want to report the news, but at the same time you want to have respect for the family, and it's always like a situation where they're trying to balance. And I don't know if you had a question now, if this was a good time for you to throw in that question.
No, you asked it.
Okay.
Before, yeah.
Okay. So I guess going off of that, how has life been now? Not just for you, for your family, for maybe people around him that knew him or really close with him. You know, how's life been?
When you say a life without a meaning, no meaning to it. I feel numb all the time. I feel like it's a nightmare. It's not true, even though, you know, it's true. But I can't sleep at night. Every day I can't sleep like for 2-3 hours, and every time I wake up, I feel like it's still the same day. It's like July 21st. And of course, I try my best to be strong in front of my family, because right now all they have is me. I have my little brother. He's like 7 years old. He can't do anything. Actually, he's 8. He just turned 8 on September 2. And I want to shout out to Melvindale Police Department. They all came in and supported him and gave him gifts, which my brother used to do that for the past 3 years. And his birthday, he call his friends, police officers, and they come out, drive by my house, and, you know, make him happy.
How much did your brother love being a police officer?
It was everything to him. Like I told you, since we came from Yemen, me and him were dreaming to be police officers. And so he was doing 110 to this job. He would go in there and never have a fear of dying. He would go there, loved the job. In the academy, he was just in his room studying. All he wanted just to pass.
Allah yarhamah. We're going to take a quick break, Ramsey, and we're going to give a shout out to the next sponsor, which is Jabal Coffee House. Shout out to Jabal Coffee House. We got great people over there. The new spot, the new hangout that everybody likes to come out to, which is Jabal Coffee House, and then we're going to keep the show rolling. Jabal Coffee House offers all of their customers an elevated coffee experience. If you stop by any of their locations, you will see a coffee house with a luxurious design, innovative spaces to meet with your friends, as well as exceptional service. They offer the best premium Yemeni coffee and quality crafted drinks. You can try their fan favorite, the Adeni tea, iced Jabal latte, or any of their refreshers and matchas. Also, don't forget to add one of their delicious pastries or desserts to go with your drinks, which we guarantee will satisfy that sweet tooth. They currently have a location in West Dearborn, with locations coming to North Carolina, Illinois, Florida, Ontario, and California. You can visit their website at jabalcoffeehouse.com or download the Jabal app, available on all your smartphone devices. We're back. We're here with Ahmed Said, the brother of fallen officer Mohamed Said, Allah yarhamah. For him to be here today with a little over a month since his brother passed just gives you an example of the strength and courage that he has. And may Allah continue to bless you with that strength and courage and give you that strength and courage to get through the good and bad times ahead. And may Allah, like I said earlier, ease the pain for all of you. It's not easy. What has the Melvindale Police done to support you and your family during this time? I know you mentioned that they came and they gave your brother a birthday gift. I saw some photos of like they walked him to school or took him to school the first day. But just in general, like what are some of the things that they've done since then?
They're doing the best they can, and we really appreciate them. They've been there for us since day one. Since July 21st, they've been checking on us. Whatever we need, we go to them and they do it.
So, I remember Mohammed Hashim, the officer, was saying that the chief is a very good guy. He cares about the community. Do you agree with that? Like, how has he been?
He been, like I told you, he was like a father to Muhammad. So he been there for us a lot. And I agree with whatever Muhammad Hashim said. I agree.
Now, going from the police to the community, I just want to say this right now because I was going to do a video, but then I was like, it's not necessary. And I'm happy that we got you on the show because I want to put this out there. As Muslims, we don't know if somebody, we don't know the status of a person. You know what I'm saying? As Allah, Allah's our judge,
Yeah.
But there are signs of things that we can like see and feel at ease with when stuff happens to make you feel like okay. And the funeral, your brother's funeral, Ahmed, was the most, like, I've never seen a day like that ever in my life. Wallah. Shout out to Police Chief Jabal. We could talk about him in a little bit. He allowed me to get that kind of full access thing where, I was around him the whole day. So I saw the ceremony to the we went to the masjid afterwards, and it was a day that everyone involved, like, I can't speak for him, Allah yarhamah, but I bet you Muhammad would have been proud of how everything went.
Yeah.
From Sheikh Bilal to the American Muslim Society Masjid to pretty much everyone, really. I've never seen so many police officers in one place. Officers were coming from New York to Ohio, from just different places all over the state of Michigan. Officers were in the building, and they got to see what Islam was all about.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you understand like how beautiful. I'm telling you, like, that was the most beautiful day of my life. Like, I'm not trying to use that word, obviously, but I'm talking about the fact that people got to see what Islam was all about. Like, I couldn't believe like how, like, that's why Allah works in mysterious ways. Like, so many people had to, like, for those that had that judgment of who Muslims are, I guarantee you they threw that out the window. Yeah. Like, you saw American in the masjid. You saw American outside of the masjid. You saw American every single where you've seen, and they respected every single tradition that we have as Muslims. And they followed it. They didn't argue it. They didn't discuss it. And it was all on a short notice, but it was well organized. And to me, that impact, I'm 32, and I'm telling you, like, I'll forever remember that day for the rest of my life. So going off of that, how has the community been? We talked about the police. Now the community support been since then, since your brother Allah Yarhamah passed away.
Well, Muhammad Allah Yarhamah, he used to be there a lot for the community. He was helping left and right. He will go to the park on duty, play soccer with kids, get out of his police car and just play with kids, give them stickers, go to schools every day in the morning. So they're right now paying back what Mo used to do and showed us. I never knew this. I never knew like Mo used to do all these stuff until they used to come and talk to me and support family, sending gift cards. Mo Allah Yarhamah, he used to do a lot of things from his heart and kept it in secret. So even how you mentioned his funeral, there were a lot of people, and that's the first time I see a lot of people get together like that. Wallah, in the masjid before we prayed for Jum'ah, I was just looking at him and telling him, what's the secret between you and Allah? And I was like, I wish right now I'm in your spot and all these people came in for me. So, like, it made me feel a little bit, like, proud of him, happy a little bit that all these people came in for him, and he was honored good, and everybody was, like, proud of him, and everybody's talking good about him. Like, some people die, and then you will hear some bad words about them. This guy, like, was something else. Like, every single person is talking good about him. You open social media, all you see is his pictures. And you go out, all they talk about is about him. And after he passed away, he made the community be one hand, which that's what he wanted. He wanted Melvindale to be like one hand, and I wish it didn't happen after he passed away. I wish he was still alive to see all this. Allah yarhamah.
Allah Yarhamah. They had a ride along. So many people were standing outside. The Melvindale community, I agree 100%. Like, since then, it seems like people are like realizing like life is bigger than the little issues that we have. Subhanallah, how something like that, one person, how people say like one person can't make a difference? That's not true. Like, wallah, that day was the perfect example of how one person can make a huge difference in the world, in the country. This was a story, Trump tweeted about it. This was a story that was for sure nationwide. And I'm sure a lot of people probably talked about it overseas too, especially, in the Middle East countries and in Yemen and stuff. Like, I don't think you were able to be there in attendance, but like from your viewpoint, like what was your viewpoint from like just reading and seeing this stuff out there?
You posted a bunch of videos, and as a witness from that, it was very incredible and very good to see. As you mentioned, all those people that came and joined. As you mentioned before, Officer Hisham said great things about him, and I'm pretty sure like he was a big vocal point for the Melvindale police community. And Allah yarhamah, man, he was from what I'm hearing, it sounded like he was like the man.
And he was 1 year in service too, right? A little bit over 1 year.
Yeah.
So 1 year, for those of you that think you can't make an impact or make a difference, he was an officer for a little bit over 1 year, and you've seen the impact that he made. And like I said, that day, our country right now, I feel like it's under a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah.
But for that one day, I felt like everybody stopped what they were doing and put everything to a back seat, put their problems to a back seat, and they realized that life is precious, and that's one of those things. So Again, I can't thank you enough for coming on here and sharing this, because I know it's not easy. I know it's not. But I appreciate you so much for coming on here. And so, you mentioned that a lot of people said stories about him. A lot of people had things to say about him. So what do you think, Allah yarhamah, that he will be remembered most by, or what he should be remembered most by?
A loved person, a person like a police officer with always smiling. He will come give you a ticket while he's smiling. Like when you take the ticket, you're smiling too. A person who put his life to protect the city, not just city, like in general, like the U.S. Great brother, great son, great coworker, great uncle. Like he was a different guy.
And he was always just positive, it seems like.
He was always positive, and he will. That was not the first time to see people with drugs. He was like protecting the city from drugs every day, like in the hospital. My cousin took his wife a second day because she was sick, and then the doctor was like, that guy, he used to come every single day bring us people who was on drugs. And I used to tell him, Mo, hey, why are you doing this? Why are you bringing these people? What if something happens to you? He used to tell us, it's on Allah. I'm just trying to keep the kids away from these stuff.
A real superhero, seems like.
Yeah.
You know, we obviously superheroes are something that is, people like think they're not real, but there are some among us, and he was one of them. That's for sure. Ramsey, we're gonna also take this time to run our last ad of the show, because we are winding down to the last couple of questions, and so we're gonna go ahead and give a shout out to our next sponsor, which is Malek Al-Kabob restaurant. So let's give a shout out to Malek Al-Kabob, and then we're gonna keep the show rolling. We're moving into the last third of the show, so shout out to Malek Al-Kabob. Malek Al-Kabob has become noted as one of the best Middle Eastern restaurants in the Metro Detroit area. The restaurant has become a popular destination for visitors and is always full of satisfied locals who are proud to invite their guests to taste real Middle Eastern food. With options like shish platters, shawarma plates, shawarma sandwiches, lamb chops, fattoush, and tabbouleh salads, you can never go wrong when you choose to eat at Malek Al-Kabob. They currently have 3 locations: West Dearborn, Taylor, and Trenton. Be sure to stop by Malek Al-Kabob to satisfy all of your Middle Eastern cravings. You can also visit them at their website, malekkabob.com. All right, we are here again with Ahmed Said, and we are going to close out this show. So let's talk about Chief Jamil Al-Tahiri, first of all. I know he was a big, he was there, and he knew your brother, and he threw it out there during the youth police academy that he was trying to recruit your brother to come to the city of Hamtramck. And it's always nice to see people of your kind doing things, because especially like us Yemeni, like we're finally making that turn of like kind of getting out of the typical life of maybe running a business or gas station stores and stuff like that. We see officers now, we got chiefs. So it's just nice to see different people. I mean, your people in different professions. So I can only imagine, like, when your brother seen the chief, that it was like something like, it was like great to see. And, maybe he was interested or not. But, when he asked you to give a speech and you said yes, first of all, that speech was beautiful.
Thank you.
It definitely hit home on a lot of stuff. But during your speech, you mentioned that you will always honor your brother. How will you be doing that? Like, what are your thoughts when you said that?
Keep doing what he was doing. That's gonna keep honoring him, and for sure do sadaqah jariyah. Keep donating on his behalf.
Inshallah. And I know you mentioned earlier on the show that you always wanted to be a police officer.
Yeah.
I know this might be too soon to ask, but is that something that you still want to do, or is
Yeah, I want to do it so I can finish what he started. But for sure, it's not gonna be like this year or next year. It's gonna take long until my family calm down because Mo used to go to work. My parents were like worried about him till he comes back. So I don't want them to go back to this same feeling. I want them to wait a couple of years. Then for sure I'm a be a police officer. Finish what he started.
inshallah?
Inshallah.
Um, that's something parents. I could only imagine. That's something that definitely. Even like you said before that. I know how Yemeni parents are. They're concerned about every little thing that are their kids doing, as every parent should be, right? But kudos to you. Kudos to you for still wanting to do that. And that's, I guess, that's another way of you can honor him as well. You can tell the best police officers are the best people. Before you even put on that badge, you just have to be a good person.
Yeah.
And I can tell you're coming at it with a big heart. And may Allah, Allah ya'eenak, man. And just do whatever it is that you want to do, and just be smart about every move that you make, obviously. And may Allah guide you in whatever path that you decide to choose, man.
Thank you.
And going off of that, the advice, you had some great advice. You told people to, love the people that are next to them, that are closest to them in your speech. But what advice do you have for people out there that are listening and, that want to hear something from you?
Like I was saying, love deeper because tomorrow is not promised. Because I never knew my brother's leaving me on July 21st. I was just with him a Saturday of like before that. And thank God me and him were cool. So my advice to everybody, don't keep anything in your heart about any of your family members because you don't know when your time is gonna come. Maybe today, tomorrow. So always try to be together and closer.
A lot of families these days, when you talk to them, they'll say that their relationship is, high and by.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned earlier about like brothers relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then every time you talk to them, when something sudden happens, the first thing they say is, I wish we did this, or I wish we had this, and I wish we had this. And it's kind of crazy that the world that we live in, because everything's fast now, sometimes you might not even talk to your sibling or brother for a week or 2 weeks, or it just might be a text message, you know what I mean? So that's a message to everyone. That's a message to everyone, and including ourselves. Maybe I can improve my relationship with a lot of people in my family that, but I always try to walk around with a clean heart. Don't hold grudges, no matter who it is, not even family, whoever it may be. But we can always be better at what we do. And so that's one of those things that, I appreciate you for sharing this, man. It takes a lot of courage.
Like I'm gonna show you a story. Like the week of what happened, it was like on Tuesday, he went with his partner to up north for vacation. Shout out to Hussein Ayoub. They went to up north, and then I went to up north too. And on the way back, I was by myself. I was with my wife. They went together, different places. I got a flat tire. While I'm texting my brother, like, what's going on, I'm giving him updates. His replies were, I love you. I'm glad you're okay. Like hearts. That's all he was sending me. Like, I'm sending him the pictures of the rims, updates, what the officer's saying, what's going on, and all he's replying was, I love you. I'm glad you're okay. And then from the other side, Hussein Ayoub, me and him were very close. Since he met Mo, it's like he met me. And Hussein's from the other side is texting me, hey, your brother's worried about you a lot. He loves you. We love you, you know? So that's how the relationship should be between brothers.
You know, we have a hard time telling each other that we love each other because we're guys, and you know, we typically try to not do that. So, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't tell you the last time I told my own brothers that I love them. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, just because like we kind of carry ourselves in a way where it's like, you know, you know it, but we don't say it.
Yeah.
But what we don't realize is that when we do say it, it can make a difference. You know,
It does.
you know, so it's one of those things that like, and again, I'm probably speaking on the behalf of a lot of brothers out there. You know, we can do a better job of showing that love and saying it. It doesn't hurt, and it's not, you know, it doesn't make you weak
Nothing.
to say it. And to be honest with you, it may make that person stronger by saying it. So, you know, this is one of those things where, you know, we as a society got to show more love to each other. I think that's what the world is, and that's what that day. That's what I'm saying. Like that day of, you know, Allah yarhamah, when his qibra, you know, his funeral. I think that's what it was. Like there was just love in the air. There was, you know, compassion. Some things that we just haven't seen in such a long time in our lives. You know what I mean? And it's been so like so many things happening in this world that it was just a reminder that, you know, life is short, and to love the people who are close to you, love deeper, like you said. So kudos to you, man, again, for coming here today. And, you know, I'm going to take this time to tell you, Yusuf, that I love you. You know, Ramzi, I love you too. You know, that's my nephew, Ramzi, right there. But he grew up with us his whole life, so like a brother. And, you know, that's for anybody, man. I think we all need to do a better job of it. You know, we never know what someone's going through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I love you too, by the way, Ahmed, man.
Same here.
You know what I'm saying? Seriously. For real, man, because all the stuff that you're doing, you mentioned that you want to honor your brother. You're doing it. You're doing it in a great way. And, you know, alhamdulillah, and for everything that you're doing, I don't think you understand the impact because it's tough. And everybody knows it's tough. And so it takes a lot of courage to do that. And we're going to ask for your final word. But before I do that, I just want to, again, you know, just give the shout out to all the sponsors of this show, which is Juice Box, Holy Bowly, Hanley International Academy, Jabal Coffee House, Malek Al-Kabob, and BMI Towing. Now, we appreciate them and their support. Again, be sure to follow us on all of our socials, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, all under Oz Media. We are also on Apple and Spotify podcasts under Oz Media. You can find all of those things on our website at ozmedia313.com. You know, we appreciate Ahmed Said for being here today. You know, again, this is the Movement Podcast. Ahmed, any final words, final comments, any last minute thing that you want to say right now? Any final thing?
To all police officers, be like Said.
I love that. I love that, man. He was a guy that really, really took his job very serious.
He's not like some officers. They just go and chill, you know.
Or they use their power.
Yeah, he was there like to protect the city, to show them how officers are. Because, and this I wanna mention it to the non-officers, residents. You're not gonna know what they're going through unless you work that job. They go through a lot. Like Allah yarhamah used to tell me everything. They go through a lot. They risk their life for a lot of small stuff. So do not judge what they're doing unless you work at the job.
I agree. I think the officers get the worst judgment from everybody. Because we don't thank them when they do something nice, but we blame them for everything when something goes wrong.
Yeah.
It's like, quote unquote, it's like a thankless job. But they do a lot. And I have a lot of friends that are officers, and I respect them all. You know, they go into this job pretty much hated. Mm-hmm. You're hated. As soon as you put on that badge, 75% of the people probably like hate on you, you know? because of the fact that rather if there was a video that they seen or something. So it takes a lot of courage to do that job, a lot of strength, and then you really have to be in it for the greater good of the community, because you might not ever get a thank you, maybe once or twice in your lifetime. So it's one of those things where, it's not easy. It's not easy, but what you're in there for, and really you're probably not in there for the thank you. You're in there for protecting and serving the community that you're in. And I kudos to police officers. Like I said, I have nothing but respect for them. Like I said, I have a lot of friends I grew up with, school and stuff like that are officers, and I know they're doing a great job at their field. Yusuf, any final words and final comments?
I have a quick question, Ahmed. I don't know if you mentioned this before, but why was he so motivated to become an officer?
Just to protect the city and keep the kids away from drugs. I think that's it.
Yeah. He just wanted
to change the city.
Yeah.
From the worst to the best.
And that was one of his ways of doing it, was by being a police officer.
Yeah.
That's good.
We can do it as community members. Everyone can do their part as community members to make the city a better place to live in, no matter what city you're in. He's talking about Melvindale. You could be talking about Hamtramck, Dearborn High, Detroit. No matter where city you're in, do your job. If there's one thing that you want to get away from this conversation, is do your part to making sure that your city is a better place than it was yesterday. Whatever that means. Do your job, do your part. Don't make things worse, make things better, and also love deeper.
Yeah.
Like Ahmed said as well. Ahmed, please, can we give him a round of applause for this? This is one of those things where you can't explain how difficult it is to do unless you're actually living through it. Please, salam ala your whole family. I know it's not an easy time. We are here for your support. Like the Chief Jamil said, we're brothers for life. You have us in your back pocket now. Anything you need, we're here for you. And inshallah, we can, continue to making our communities a better place together, inshallah.
Yeah.
And if there's anything else you'd like to say, feel free. But if not, we're going to close it out. Again, thank you, Ahmed, for being here today. This was Season 4, Episode 2 of the Movement Podcast. We hope that you enjoyed listening to this conversation, and we hope that you learned something, one or two things. And the biggest thing is make sure you tell your family that you love them while they are still around, because it can make the world of a difference. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all next time.